morning, good afternoon, good evening to anybody and wherever you are at. How is everybody doing today? It is Saturday. It is 1600 hours, and it is time for the command post. How's everybody doing, gentlemen?
Excellent.
All right.
Hey, wait a minute.
Good.
Wait. Somebody let this crazy guy in. Why should I let this guy in?
Who the heck is it?
Oh,
I
no.
say yes.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
I saw this post the other day, and you said it last week, and I said I saw it earlier this week, and I was like, "Oh, I need to be in this. Come on."
Yeah, Hexy, the reason I didn't get back to you earlier is I had to ask, just to make sure it was okay.
And that's fine. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm on call, so my phone may. Matter of fact, I need to grab my phone because if it goes off, I'm out of here.
So, as you can see today, we not just only have one guest, we have two guests, but our main guest, the one that we invited first and then got so rudely and self-invited over here. Hermann Luttmann. How's it going, Herman?
All right, guys. How you doing? Good to see you again.
Yeah, it's great to see you again. So glad you be here.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
Good to see Jeff too.
You too, Herman. Good to see you.
Well, Jeff got some fun last Sunday with our tank duel, which I thought we had a blast with that. That was a lot of fun. So we got to finish that up.
He blew me up, but Ruff got my revenge for me.
Yeah, I think he blew me up too, if I remember right. So somebody did, Mike or him did. Somebody did. That is such a fun game. It is so great. It's definitely a late night con game where you can just the keywords beer and pretzels and as much beer as you want, basically. So and by the way, we got a ton of people in the chat, so I'm trying to keep up with that. So we'll see how that goes.
That's awesome.
42 already. We've been on for 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Crikey.
Yep.
Amazing.
So we got a lot in here. So what have you guys been up to? So it's been a little while since we have the command post. Of course, last Sunday we were all playing Tank Duel. So, Ruff, what I know you weren't feeling the best on Sunday. Have you? So obviously you're feeling better.
But I tell you what, since I started playing with the giggles we were having, I forgot about it. As soon as I come offline, I thought, I did feel bad, but I'm fine now. I think it was a 24, 48 hour thing that I got. I'm still struggling my way through with Tokyo Express. I'm going through the scenarios, having a go, pushing. It is for me anyway. It's a crunchy old game, but I'm enjoying it. But I did sort of clear the counters away, left the map out, and put some other little things out. I had a little look at Ambush, had a little look at Patton's Best, had a little look at Beneath the Med. So I've been busy, but not much. Sorry, there's no videos at the moment. I'll do the best I can. But also, this turned up in the post. I don't know why, but this thing turned up.
Who designed that?
Oh, somebody called Harold Loot Mins. Is
that a new designer?
Yeah, I think I never heard of him. Never heard of him.
Yeah.
So that turned up, and
I'm glad you finally got it.
Yeah, it took a while. This new thing from GMT via China, I think it is on a slow boat because it does take. I'll wait, and it does take a little while to get here.
Do you get yours from Second Chance?
Huh?
Do you get yours from Second Chance?
No, I got mine through P500, but it comes directly now from China. They don't send it to you guys, and then they send it to Second Chance.
All right, okay.
Because of the tariffs, so they sent direct from China, but it does take a bit of a while.
Mm-hmm.
But the cost in shipping is kept about the same. It may be a little cheaper, but yeah.
Right.
Yes. Saw that.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So Nate, what have you been playing or have you been writing?
More writing than playing, but I have been able to play something at least. Like I said, I've just still been trying to play more ancient stuff to keep my mind in there as I'm writing, obviously ancient stuff. So I'm doing Rome 2 Inc. on Vassal, which is easy. Just save it and close it. So it's fun. This is the 363 AD scenario, and the Empire's still together. It's still there. It's almost falling apart, but it's still there. I
prefer the other version where you can erase your mistakes, the Rome pencil, as opposed to Rome ink.
Okay.
I'll get
they
the
play
coat.
British humor.
I'll get the coat.
Oh,
I'll
boy.
get the coat. Sorry.
Now I regret not blowing his tank up.
Wow.
I'll just mute him for that one.
So I also did get this week. Thankfully, I was very happy to get the Mr. President the update kick. So I'll hopefully get to that at some point here soon, especially because there's a new scenario in it that runs 2022 to 2024.
What does that?
in there.
What does that update?
This updates literally everything except the counters and the map.
Wow.
So all the paperwork in the game has been updated.
That again is on a slow boat from China, so I've paid for that. Still waiting for it. Yeah.
There is some additional. I think they did add some additional counters, kind of help if you want, kind of. But the it's mainly just all the books, and then of course I also got Hexy's favorite game,
A naval game.
Ardennes 44.
Yeah.
So
What version
I
is that?
got
12th
a
or
bulge
13th?
game. I
Is
have
that
3
12th?
now.
Is that the 12th or 13th version of that game? What is it?
This is the 4th printing.
You know, everybody
And-
keeps browbeating
and
me
another
about
map.
that. I may have to buy that again just to stop it.
Just buy them all up.
Oh,
So-
man.
I also did want to mention, I know we talked about it just briefly in the green room. I'll share my screen. That after last show, when we were discussing about kind of Pacific War games, and particularly me, I was looking for kind of carrier battle games, and I have Pacific War from GMT and Mark Herman, and I'll certainly get to that at some point. It's a big game, so I know I'll have to take some time to get into it, but. We were reached out to by the folks over at Microprose. They do PC war games, and I shared my screen so you can put it up.
I know. I'm trying to.
Okay.
I'm keeping
hold on,
away.
hold on.
You know what I do. I'm not
Yep.
touching the keyboard.
Hold on. There we go.
So the folks over at Microprose reached out to us about their brand new game that's currently in early access. This is not the full release. They released it as they're continuing to build it. This is Task Force Admiral, American Carrier Battles. Currently in the game, there's 2 scenarios. There's a Midway scenario and a Coral Sea scenario, as well as 2 kind of variants on those scenarios. And I've played a little bit of it, and I do really enjoy it. It's fun. It definitely kind of immerses you into the carrier warfare. You can kind of get behind. Let's see if I can pull up. There's one screenshot. Yeah, you can follow the plane as it dives in on the carrier and watch the bombs drop and everything.
This is right
cool.
up Hexy's alley. It's got boats.
Yeah.
That's right. All naval.
Hey, I'll put a stop to something
So
right
yeah,
now.
the Microprose guys reached out to us, and very happy to hear from them. And we won't do anything today concerning about it because we want to stick to our special guest and the topics that we want to discuss with that. But more to come concerning Task Force Admiral. If you're interested, you can check it out on Steam currently. But
Make
more
sure-
from us concerning it later.
Make sure you watch the next show.
That's right.
Yep. That looks cool. That looks cool.
So I haven't played much, but with everything going on, but I have been doing something, and actually Herman's games have actually gave me the inspiration to do this.
Oh.
So I'm gonna share this, and which is,
Cool.
let's see if I can do this the right way. Yeah, I'm doing some design. I'm doing a design.
Herman, you're a
off
bad
of-
influence.
Off of the 41st Ohio at Missionary Ridge. And I got one of my biggest issues is the art. So I got a little AI art just to get started.
Tony, that does sound a little bit rude. Up your ridge.
Up the ridge. Up the ridge, not up your
All
ridge.
right then.
So this is the 41st Ohio, and it's going to be similar to kind of the pressure luck system, the in magnificent style, and crowbar, and there's quite a few out there. So basically, you're going to be starting down here. I'm still working out some stuff because I want to use the disorder, and there are 10 companies in the 41st that actually took place of this result, but their goal was only to take the rifle pits, but nobody told them to stop, so they went all the way up the hill.
Wait,
So
wait a minute. Maybe I misheard you. You're designing this?
yes, yep,
Oh,
yep.
that's awesome.
So I'm still working on it, but a lot of times my biggest thing is art, and I needed something to start with, and I'm like, once I get the design, I'll just let a human do the artwork and stuff. But I needed something to get started with.
That is a good side of AI, because if I'm doing a prototype to play test with, I'm depending on clip art and downloading stuff from the internet. It just looks awful. This looks a lot better to play test off of, I gotta say.
Yeah. I actually printed one off. I have a poster printer, so I actually printed one off. So basically, and this is probably not exactly historically accurate because they kind of went up and then went to the right and didn't actually attack the top. So it's going to be a slightly different. But yeah, I was reading the book on the 41st Ohio, and I'm like, what? Wait, what is that? Wait, this looks great. And then I heard about this. So, but yeah, they were just supposed to take these rifle pits, and nobody told them to stop. It's one of the times that the Union actually got the initiative and actually did something above what they were told. So
are you using dice to activate your units, or cards, or?
Basically think of like Crowbar, where you choose the activation, and then the movement is going to be card or dice, and then they're going to be event cards, because I like that idea. And the farther away you are for attacking, like when the Confederates are attacking, they have less dice, but the closer you get, they get more dice, and you're easier to hit you. And I'm working on a morale, so if they get disordered, they have to fall all the way back, and you grab another company and start the other company up at full strength. And I'll have a few cards where you can get where you get artillery from the top that's coming at you, a few different things. So, but the artwork, like this one, I was like, oh my God, this is cool, because I was like, oh, I need to change something, and I just type in what I want to change.
Have you spelled something wrong?
Probably, because I probably did.
Well,
I didn't.
Not you.
AI is terrible.
AI did. Yes. Yeah. The entrenchments and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. AI never passed the first grade.
No.
But
fantastic.
I had heard somebody mention it as the AI is just a college or a hungover college student right now. That's the best description. But it gives me a chance to get things kind of started and get something on on print and stuff like that. So
well, and that's one of the great things. Like I don't use AI necessarily in anything that I do, but when I want an idea of what maybe something look like what you're doing, I usually put something in there like that, because then it gives you at least a picture, at least a visual of this is what I want to do.
Yep. So and I want it, so the regimental pressure, so like if they're not getting pressed so much, so if they don't take too many hits, they can be advancing, and then eventually they need to fall back. So I'm still working on how I want the morale, but the basic mechanics are very similar to a lot of Herman's ideas with some of his pressure.
Herman, has he paid you any copyright fees yet? What's going on?
Hey, I'm from West Virginia. Entrenchments looks right to me.
But no, this has kind of been. I have a student teacher at school right now, so when I'm observing him, I have a lot of extra free time because I just observe to make sure everything's going right. And so this is kind of my pet project that I've got going on when I'm trying to fill my time with something intelligent. So
that is really cool. That is really cool.
Well, good luck.
So I went and the one thing I want to do is to
so you're saying this is a world premiere?
Yes, it is. I'm putting it out there because if I don't, I won't finish it. So by putting it out there, everybody's going, "Hey, Tony, how's this going?" It's an accountability piece.
That's a very good strategy, Tony.
And the good thing is, rather than you name dropping, we can now name drop
him.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
well, if you need help with it, Tony, let me know. I certainly can give you a hand if you get stuck.
Yeah, you had mentioned something, and I know Mike Berticelli has also mentioned he'll help me out. I've got enough people. Mitch Slands also would help me out. He's not a solo player, so I don't know if he would be that much of a help because that's not his forte. If it was modern or Vietnam and secret movement and everything, that's Mitch's
Yeah.
realm. But like Herman, Berticelli's done some, solitaire stuff. So, but the one thing I want to do is I want to have stacks of counters visually to show how powerful they are or how strong they are. So they'll start out at full stacks, and as you lose, you'll like flip I think like 5 counters, flip one over. It's now from a 10 to a 9, and then you move counters so you can easily see how strong the units are right after that. So that's I kind of want to go that route.
I use something like that for Attack of the 50-Foot Colossi. It's a stack, and then it flips and it disintegrates. So it's a nice, easy way.
Yeah, I knew I couldn't be the original on that one.
It's okay.
Well done. Bloody hell.
So, Hex, what have you been playing? Because I know you haven't stopped playing. Like, you play all the time. And then we'll get to Herman, because his basically will take up the rest of the show, what he's doing.
I'm adding Herman to the list of blame for this coming year. I told you all that my 2026 efforts are out the door, that everything's going to be ACW, and then he's popping another one that he made a comment the other day that's going to get released this year. So, I've been telling the guys, I am sort of review playing a naval game right now that I was told to stop because they're already going to have to create errata for it after me and Kev had it for 10 minutes. And I did get Battles in the East too from somebody. I'm going to just take a look at that. But I'm going to tell you, man, between what he's got coming, Camp and I are trying to finish up the Wilson's Creek game and move on to the next one, Mark Herman's Army of the Potomac, and the GBACW Simple Rules, dude, I'm telling you right, 2026 is going to be American Civil War from top to bottom. And I got this feeling, Herman, that your game's going to come out for me to close out the whole rest of the entire year with that damn Antietam.
I assume you're talking about the next Black Swan game, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Not to mention the other stuff you're hiding.
We're actually trying to fast track that.
I will say Antietam is my favorite Civil War battle and battlefield to go visit as well. So very excited for that one.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, Stuka.
I have to tell you that I actually sent Dean Ruff some pics of the counter work and the map work. Right, I'll get to tattered flags too in a second.
Would you like me to post one up?
Oh, sure. Yeah, as long as we're done with Hexy. Yeah, I don't want to intrude.
Oh, I've had enough of him. No, don't stop. No.
He's on here so he can see the stuff live in person, is what he is. He's fanboying out really bad over here. I can see it. So
I've only got one monitor, so you have to bear with us while we do this. Let me. Where's the? Oh, there it is.
Don't forget to put some extra coal in your Steam computer so it works.
I know it's terrible.
Better gerbils feed or something.
Spin that wheel.
Well,
what's this? Oh no, that's still not the Zeds. I'm putting them up in the order you gave me. Hold on, let me get something else.
I know, but I didn't know we were going to jump into Antietam first. So you'll see some Louisiana. You'll see some Louisiana.
I've got some sort of standees. What's that for?
No.
Cards. No. Bloody hell! You could have put me in order.
Steve,
hold on.
Steve is yelling for Zeds. He's the owner of Blue Panther.
Yeah, we'll get to that. We just get this up then.
You should see a bunch of guys standing there. You know what the counters look like for the Black Swan games?
Yeah. Yep. They're really cool. I like how you got a more of the butternut squash than the actual gray and things like that. So, wow.
Those are actually the Louisiana Tigers. So that's Hayes' brigade at Antietam. And yes, before somebody types it, we know that those uniforms were pretty scarce by Antietam, but how could you not have them on a counter? I mean, really.
Right. That is one of the cool things I know about A Most Fearful Sacrifice in Rocket Chickamauga is that you're able to put, because there's enough room on the counter to make like uniforms, or there. I think that didn't you have one in the Gettysburg had like a dog at a sidekick as a dog with the brigade?
Yes, we have more mascots in this one. We have one unit had small howitzers there on the counter. We even have McKinley's coffee run on one of the counters.
That's awesome.
Yes. So I dug through these. Claude was really helpful in finding all these little things that we can add to the counters. it's just one of those things that you probably don't notice it if you're just playing the game, but we know it's there. So we like to point it out, you know. That's back from my miniatures days. You put things on miniatures that only you know exist, and because you know it's there, it's awesome. So,
Yep,
it's those Easter eggs, basically.
exactly right. So these are the Louisiana guys with the Louisiana flag, and you'll see. Well, I don't have all the Antietam stuff, but and we got the Iron Brigade in there. The Texans have their flag, which was made from the colonel's wife's wedding dress. I forgot what that flag is called. Somebody will probably put it in the chat.
I hope she wasn't wearing it at the time, but you know.
No. Actually, so the other thing is, do you have the map picture there?
Yeah, hopefully I can get that up by doing that. There we go.
So there's Miller's cornfield. This map, by the way, is based on Rick Barber's actual draft map for Antietam.
Looks very great.
Very nice.
I was going to ask you if you were going to hold the trend the same.
What's that?
Maps. I was going to ask if you're holding the trend of the maps the same as you've done with the previous two.
Yes. We don't have the dots on this one because they're not really necessary, because Chickamauga was a whole another story with all the woods, and we needed the differentiation between the types of woods. But this is we got a draft. Claude got a draft map from Rick Barber's family, and they let us use it. So we have written permission to use his map as a basis for this map. And then Jose's just taking it, he's coloring it in, filling it in. He didn't quite finish it, so Jose's finishing it up. So we were very thankful to the Barber family for letting us do this.
See, and the thing about Rick Barber's maps, and the more I've played on them, the more I actually like them. But the first time you play on them, and if it's just regular hex sizes and not the larger ones, sometimes it's a little hard to determine some of the terrain. But the larger hex size, larger hex maps are awesome. So yeah. I'm glad to hear that. And then, are these the same guys that did the...
That's evolved since Stonewall's Sword, which is the first time I think that Rick did that map. So, and then as we get feedback, the next volume and the next volume, you start making it a little clearer, putting some numbers on the different elevations to make it even clearer. So yeah, it's like you said, you can see there are hex elevation numbers on this one as well. And then I think there's one more. What's that?
How many map boards will be with this?
How many? It's the same. So we're going with the same 2 giant map boards, and therefore we've had to actually scale the game down a little bit. So this is actually going to be a slightly more tactical treatment of the system than before.
Now, is this going to be able to do both Antietam's?
To do what?
Like, obviously it's Bull Run is the southern side, but there's 1 and 2. Is it going to be able to have both? Does it have both scenarios for both Antietam's, or am I wrong in not thinking they're the same place?
Yeah, there was no second
Bull Run. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I was thinking Bull Run. Okay, never mind. I'm wrong. It's been a long week.
Yeah. So
while we've got 70 people watching, if you would be so kind as to smash the like button, wherever you're watching, because you've got an option now. Just smash that like button wherever you're sitting there in your chair watching this. That would be wonderful. Thank you very much. Sorry.
So you'll see Gibbons' Iron Brigade there, and if you look really closely, you can see their black hats. And if you look at Hartsuff's first unit, the 8.5, you'll see a little doggy there.
Nice.
Hold on, let me see if I can.
You can zoom in.
I'm going to try and zoom in.
Whoa!
Very nice. There he is.
Oh, English Terrier.
Yep. So Claude actually did find out exactly what kind of dog each unit had. Well, it's not every unit, but the ones that he could find about. The Irish Brigade has, of course, Irish Wolfhounds.
I'm getting there. I'm not doing too bad. Yeah, that's cool. They look really nice. Really nice.
So you're trying to get this one done?
I'm sorry?
You're trying to get this one done. You said you were trying to fast track this one a little bit, trying to get it.
Yeah, because there was such an immediate push for like, oh my God, we want to see Antietam. Yes. that I was like, all right, well, we're gonna have to move this up on the So then Mark writes me, he goes, "Can you have it done by April?" I'm like, well, I don't know. I mean, I can certainly get it structured by April. Not play tested by April, certainly. And we're going to have scenarios. We're going to have the usual bulk of scenarios, including the fight at the end of the 16th between Hood and the Pennsylvania Reserves. So we'll have the day before, and we're going to have an option to go into the second day of the battle, where McClellan refused to attack and let Lee escape. Well, you have the option. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure Hexy would sign up to help play test that for you.
Is there any?
He'll break the game for you if he can.
I wish. I root for guys to try to break the game, because that's when you find out if things are working or not, right?
Did you need to do
his games?
What's that?
I have not been able to break one of his. So,
Well,
is there any special kind of mechanic that you needed to add, or is it just part of the kind of the game flow itself to represent like McClellan's hesitancy to attack anything?
So this is interesting. That's the first discussion we had, of course, is like, okay, how do we represent McClellan without doing what a lot of other games do, which is just tell the Union player, you're not allowed to do anything, right?
Right.
Thankfully, the Black Swan system is flexible enough that we can do that. So we haven't tested it yet, but the basic first effort is going to be is, depending on the length of the scenario, is we have McClellan's CIC card, which he can use like a normal CIC, except for Burnside. And we have a series of cards called McClellan Hesitates. All right. So they're just seeded into the deck like a CIC card. And if you pull that card, it'll say something like, McClellan waits to get another scouting report. Okay. And that means you're not allowed for the rest of the game turn to issue any more attack orders. Or it might be McClellan overestimates enemy size. And that might be, say, you now are not allowed to do any more maneuver orders for the rest of the game turn. And then the third one is, I believe it's -1 on all his division commanders for their activation. That's when he overestimates the size of the enemy. So
is this how you're affecting like the number of corps that he actually allowed to fight, or are you going to be limiting that too?
So I don't want to tell players that, you have to follow it the way it did historically, and you're not allowed to move. The old the blue and gray just said you can't move. You can only move 10 units a turn or something like that. Well, I learned when I was designing at any cost, like for the French, say Marshal Bazin was very much like McClellan. He was basically a French McClellan. So I had to deal with this problem before. And what you have to do is you have to give the French player, in this case, the Union player, the hope that actually, if the cards come out correctly, you can do what you want to do. And McClellan might actually get up some nerve early on or mid-game or whatever. So you have to give the player the hope that he's actually going to be able to execute his plans without artificially scripting it or strapping him down.
Yeah, the scripting on these games sometimes, I know Gettysburg, there's, what is it? Terrible Swift Sword has some really bad scripting in the beginning. Yeah. Like, you very limited on what you can and can't do. If I remember, I haven't played it. That's just what I've heard.
Line of Battle.
Line of Battle.
Yeah, that's the one that you got to kill Reynolds, and the cavalry has to do this. And
so, the way we get around that, if you notice, like Reynolds getting shot and all that. So we don't say that Reynolds automatically gets shot in A Most Fearful Sacrifice. But if you get a Union casualty, the first one will be Reynolds. So Reynolds doesn't necessarily have to die, but he'll be the first one to go.
Good.
So
speaking of casualties, so I was playing Longstreet Attacks, and I actually had who was it that died? And it was a Union general died, and I was like, oh good, I actually get the CIC switch. So was it Sickles?
Sickles, probably, yeah.
Yeah, and then so like Meade took, or I can't remember who it was. My brain is fried right now. But it was actually better because the CIC chit, I could actually roll and activate it a lot better.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, good, I got rid of him. So I actually that's not a bad thing. The problem was it was like turn like almost towards the end of the scenario. So like I didn't get to use it that much. But yeah, it was pretty funny.
You killed Sickles?
Yeah. Yeah. No, well, he was a casualty. That doesn't mean I killed him. That means he just was removed from the battle. It's one of those things I have to tell my students. Casualties does not mean death. It just means they can't fight anymore.
No, he took him off the battlefield, then he got rid of him.
Yeah.
Didn't casualties normally ended up as deaths because of the yeah. So
yeah,
you
because
did
of the lack of clean.
Yeah, you did kill him then.
Yeah.
Right.
He died in an infected thingy.
Yeah.
So the other thing with Antietam you have to be careful of course, is how you handle Burnside and Cox, right? And that dynamic, and how do you keep Burnside from storming across the bridge immediately? Well, you don't artificially keep him from doing it. You build a Confederate card in there that is a Burnside card that creates problems for Ninth Corps. So to answer your question, we have ways to, this goes back to my historical chaos theory, is that, push you in the direction of historically things the way they happen, but not make them mandatory.
So that, I would assume it's probably will be the same thing for, like, will AP Hill show up or will he not to stop Burnside's attack?
Correct. Yes. So, and this goes, I don't know, before we got on the show, I wanted to talk about this, but this is as good a time as any about, I know that you made a remark a couple of weeks ago. About
this is perfect time for that.
That, people, some criticism was, well, if you play the 3-day, Gettysburg goes off the rails, quote unquote. And when I heard you say that, I was like, well, yeah, of course. Right? Why would you want a game that doesn't go off the rails? Why are you playing the 3 days? Right? So to answer those concerns, and I think Ruff said it or Tony said it, I wasn't sure, but if you want to play the battle historically, you just play through the scenarios, because all the scenarios are individually set up to mimic the situation at that time, right? So you can actually go through the battle the way it was done historically. But even within that scenario, things are going to change, right? I mean, so
Herman, you're the one that told me that from the minute you move the first counter, you've changed history.
Of course,
I remember you saying that. So
yeah. I mean, if you're playing the 3-day scenario, and Yule gets his ass kicked on the first day because of the way the die rolls were coming, or 11th Corps got up there really fast, or whatever, you're already off the rails. So to me, I don't know. I find that personally, and I know some gamers don't, but I find that interesting. Like, I want to fight my own version of Gettysburg.
Look at it like it's an alternate universe where that could have happened.
Oh, that was my next point, Ruff. You just I actually thought of the alternate universe thing where
I've still got it, Herman.
You do.
I'm still inside your mind. I've still got it.
But historical Gettysburg was just one of the plays.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, and that, I mean, like you just mentioned just a few seconds ago, like nearly, I should say, all war games are alternate history.
Yes.
Nothing really stays the same according to history in any war game that we play.
Our job as designers is to just give you the factors and the environment. And as somebody just posted, when I do research on a scenario, let's say, I only worry about is when do the reinforcements show up? What's the setup?
Yep.
To get that situation, and when do new troops arrive? After that,
there we go. There we are.
Yeah. After that, it's you go for it, right?
Well, that's what makes war games exciting, isn't it? When something unexpected happens, you think, well, that didn't happen historically. How am I going to get out of this?
Right. Now,
what I find interesting is the GMT, the Civil War. Like, I was so excited about that, but then I'm like going, problem is it won't last as long because nobody's going to be as slow as Little Mac for the first couple years. Right. And eventually you do have to kill off certain generals as they come, as you go through.
Yeah. And this even goes back to, some of the specific complaints about, let's say, Black Swan or Blind Swords, is that guys don't, I've heard arguments that, well, once you set a corps on a road and they start marching, they're just going to march and get there. And, my argument is these guys are not freight trains going down a track. Yeah. They get lost. What war game can you simulate a unit getting lost, right? No player is going to lose their way, okay? they get conflicting orders. They might hear something or see something that they're not sure about. They'll stop. Maybe they think their troops are tired or hungry. They'll stop. So the only way you can deal with that is in an abstracted way of you might have to roll to move them or get a card to move them. They're not going to automatically be railroaded at a certain pace and get to that battlefield exactly as you plan.
Well, because the unit's made of people, and
exactly right. Human beings who see stuff and hear gunshots.
I mean, that's one of the things with, like I said earlier about alternate history, is that like I love exploring those, but I also really love exploring the alternate histories that are plausible. Like there are some games where I play, it just goes like so off the rails where it just didn't even make sense with what you currently have in the game. Not your games, but I'm in terms of just games in general. And I always appreciate ones where when you can go off the rails, so to speak, it still seems like it's historically grounded and it's plausible.
Yeah, that's the thing. Plausibility. I mean, like you're saying, men marching, historically, they got from A to B in this certain amount of time. But once you beam down into that alternate universe, some things might happen. Yeah, right. You know, you might get some injuries. There might be some supply issues. As you say, they might have heard something in the woods outside of them. So it's
one general who doesn't like another general and decides to just go a little slower. You know, it's all
it didn't happen. But in our alternate universe, maybe those two generals had an argument first thing in the morning, and that's messed everything up. That's what I love about.
It also goes to like there's certain games, battles that are like you mentioned Bulge before, right, Hexy? The Bulge game that you had. The Bulge to me is always the prime example of this because if you're playing as let's say the Germans and you win, people scream the game's unrealistic, right? I hear that all the time. Well, the Germans couldn't have won. Why are you playing a Bulge game? I mean, what's the point, right?
You know, I was one of the first ones on that train about the movement to sound and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But after the explanation and understanding the cards and in playing both AMFS and Rocket Chickamauga, no argument from me anymore. I mean, I completely get it. Look, it works. It does. And I mean, I've always heard the story. It wasn't I think First Corps, before somebody put their foot in their ass, they broke for breakfast.
Right.
On the road. So, I mean, and like Rufford, you all were just saying, it could be any number of things. I keep trying to picture the First Corps, that first division cutting across the fields off of the Emmitsburg Road to get to the fight. And have I ever done that in a game playing myself like Terrible Sword? No, I keep going right off the pike, go through the town of Gettysburg and come up to the ridge. And I didn't realize until I played AMFS.
Right.
That different approach. So yeah, I mean, you'll never hear me say anything. And you did put the rule in there with the card, sound of the guns or whatever.
And then to finalize this thing, I did listen to people and I said, all right, maybe it's a little harder than don't forget when we're play testing, we can only play the thing a certain number of times. So maybe when we were play testing, we got some good die rolls or some good card pulls, and maybe we're a little over optimistic about how much ground they cover. I concede that. So that's why I came up and I said, all right, well, if it's bothering you, here's an alternative. You can try this. And by the way, in any of my games or anybody's games, once you own the game, nobody's going to arrest you if you fudge things to your taste. You know, my interpretation of history might not be perfect. As a matter of fact, I can guarantee it's not perfect. So if something is bothering you, change the game the way you want to, if obviously within reason, but I mean, if something, yes.
You can't. Sorry to interrupt. You can't do that if you're a YouTuber because you will get the emails and the.
Well, that's true too. Yes, if you're demoing a game or something. Yes.
Oh, zero law. Oh, by the way, sorry, while we're there, Sark's had to go, but I'll just put that out for you to think about. Oh no, sorry, not that one.
That one. Yeah,
that is one.
Oh, yeah. Well, we have a couple of. So I've talked to Mark about this, but the thing is with their production schedule and Kickstarter is they can only do X amount of projects, right? Because they don't want to start funding another project before the previous one delivers. So we'll get to that. It will happen one of these days because I love doing fantasy and little off the rails type stuff.
Yeah.
And Black Swan would probably work really well in that sense.
That would be fascinating because, like you, I play other games as well apart from Wargame. So using that system in a fantasy, sci-fi, whatever, would be wonderful. And don't be put off by kickstarting a project before the other one has been fulfilled, because there are a lot of companies that do that. So
oh yeah, and they're all going out of business right now too.
So use that one to fund the lot anyway.
But to round off our previous discussion, I appreciate, Herman, you addressing that, because that was something I wanted to bring up to you anyway. Since
good.
It was mentioned last week, so I wanted to ask the designer himself about it. But so what's next to show?
Oh, to answer that question, there are some. If I'm reading this really quickly here, do we use an average? Some people, we don't have the time to do that. That's the only thing. Like, we'd like to play it like this is how the game's played, and we just try to keep in mind, well, that was a really outlier result, so we kind of have to throw that one out or something. But yeah, it's hard to do using average dice rolls for all your results.
Wouldn't that end up with a pretty sort of meh sort of game?
I would think
you need both. You've got your curve, yes.
You do.
But you need
not going to play average. Yeah.
You need these at either end to make the game crack along or give you something unexpected.
William, you've got an interesting son there. I love it though.
That's creative.
Wait a minute,
it's that picture that you see with close an A-10 flying over the Union troops when Grant calls in for close air support. You know,
we're back to alternate universes. Herman, get on it.
Well, if you get one of the if you get the Corsair leader, they have the Pearl Harbor, the final countdown scenario where you actually have like modern aircraft going against Zeros and stuff like that. If you want to play that out, because that stupid movie never finished it. They went back to the normal time before they could help them out.
Well, what could they do? To be fair, Kirk, Mr. Douglas, what could you do? You would change.
It wouldn't be entertaining. The battle would be over with before it actually started.
Yes.
All right. So what's the next thing that we're
Steve? All right, I got to get Steve in there. So
let's get this.
You can do the first picture now.
I can get the first picture now, can I?
Yeah.
Hold on a sec. Let me get that up.
So this project, I got to tell you, that's why Steve's keeps. I can't even begin to tell you the response to this thing. So
wait, that's not Antietam.
There's the creek right there.
It is an alternate universe. Herman, is this? Oh, this is a different game. It's nothing to do with the second and third edition game.
No, so this is my new take on Dawn of the Zeds, the designer edition. As many people may or may not know, Alan Emmerich passed away last year, and the third edition was with another company, and I finally was able to get the rights back. I was not happy with the way the third edition was going, to be honest with you. I thought it was too big, bloated, and complex. So I got it back. Steve over at Blue Panther helped me get the rights back, and I talked to him about doing a new version of this, and this is my playtest copy. He produced a prototype for me that I can test on the table, and this is it. And it is playing really well. It is much more streamlined than before. There are some new things added to it. There's a whole new combat system using custom combat dice, so we don't have that anymore. We don't have those tables anymore. So the Tim Allen still did the map, so we wanted to keep the look of the, of.
I was about to say it looks very, very similar in
yes, it is. We didn't want to go too far off the rails, and so we kept with Tim Allen's map. We've dialed up. We've added some little Easter eggs in there too. The three in the middle there are the new heroes, so they come on standees like that. It's all new artwork, by the way. And we've taken a little bit more of a serious horror look this time. And and it's playtesting well.
Oh, there we go. Right,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah. So
There's
this
the
is
three
all
standings.
original portraits of the new heroes. We got a couple of new heroes. There's new mechanics. There's some new units in this. But essentially, I designed it so that people can experience Dawn of the Zeds in an evening again, and with a legitimate. I mean, it's primarily a solo game, but it's got a legitimate hardwired multiplayer now too. That
was going to be my question, because I've not played the second edition or any of the Dawn of the Zeds, but it's primarily a solo game, but can be played, I assume, then cooperatively with a few players.
Yes, you can play up to 4 players. There's always 4 heroes in a game, so everybody would in a 4-player game would be in charge of 1 hero, and you play together. Yeah.
I put if you're interested in the website, I put the website up for Blue Panther for this particular edition. So,
thank you. Yeah, it's not available yet. We're still getting it together. He's gonna
it says sold out. So if it's sold out, that means you guys had it at one point.
Yeah,
that's the placeholder.
Yeah. But there's some good information on it. It looks like summer of 2026 is when it's advertised.
Yeah, and it's going to be pre-ordered before that. Those are the new cards. So that's all original artwork again. The way the cards are set up is different than previously. We're just trying to make it a little bit more modern and a little more accessible, so it's easier to play. And we've gotten so many hundreds and hundreds of responses waiting for this thing. He's getting orders already. It's not even available yet. It's not even done.
So what you're saying is the second edition that you were involved in before it evolved into the third edition, which disappointed a lot of people,
right?
From what I hear, you've gone back, you've retroed it back to the game and modernized it and all that sort of thing. Great.
The second edition was really just an upgrade, a component upgrade, really, from the cheap VPG Victory Point games.
Their first edition stuff almost like a remaster.
The one game I would love somebody to redo for VPG is the Barbarossa campaign. The counters and they don't even have to change the game, just upgrade the counters so they're not so bad. So
the solo one,
the solo one, it's a great game, but like the counters and the materials were just horrible on that game, and I actually had fun with it, but I'm afraid to bring it out because I'm afraid the counters are going to peel apart. that's how
somebody might have
I either got a bad die cut, but that would be fun.
Do you remember who designed it?
No, but I'll look it up real quick here. We got access to this thing. So we got access to this thing called the internet. So
internet. Oh dear. So he's taking the Mickey out of elderly gentlemen.
Herman, how do you? I mean, because I will never comprehend this. How does the brain of the developer? How do you switch from the wonderful? You've got great historical products, and great. Don't get me wrong. I've never played this, but I listen to people, and they love. How does the brain switch from historical to this? And you're doing them at the same time.
That sometimes is a problem, by the way. I have gotten games mixed up as I'm working on them simultaneously.
So there's tanks and things in there. Yeah.
Zombies on Antietam's battlefield.
So, I look at sci-fi and horror games as kind of a palate cleanser. What they let me do is just not have to worry about reinforcement schedules and historical chaos and things. I can just design things that I think are fun, and then let my imagination go a little bit.
Is it because you play them like I do? You play these games, and that's why you can switch a little easier between being serious historical.
I would guess so. The weird thing about this game is when I first designed it, I was not a particular zombie fan. I was just like anybody else. I'd watch a good zombie movie and like it and all that. It was fine. But when I played Zulu on the Ramparts, I was, if you remember that one, it's Rourke's Drift in the
great game.
I don't know.
I'm hoping they'll redo that one actually, because I'd love to get a copy of that.
They may. And it just popped into my head going like, wow, this would make a good zombie situation,
I mean, this States of Siege game is like every single episode of The Walking Dead that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I mean, every episode is like oh, we're in the middle. We got zombies coming from all these range areas. Like every single episode was the same. And they'd get free, and then all of a sudden they'd be in the same situation. By the way, the designers for the Barbarossa campaign were Alan Emmert, Gary Gaber, and Carl Paradis.
Oh, well, Carl's still
Carl
around.
Paradis. All right. Okay.
Yeah. Carl's still around, so maybe, I don't know, maybe they could do something about that.
I would like it because I thought it was a great solitaire game. I thought it was really good and really well done. So
yeah.
So
to answer Hexy's question, I don't know, other than it doing these types of games triggers a different part of my brain design wise, right? You got a little, I laugh all the time when I'm doing these games, I guess maybe that helps, but it just lets you design for designing's sake, right? Well, how can I make this the most fun and surprise? I want to be surprised when I play, especially a fantasy game, right? So I want things to happen to me that I'm not expecting. And honestly, that's why people like Dawn of the Zeds, because it's just basically a zombie movie, and they don't know, even though it's a limited number of cards, you don't know what order they're going to come in, when they're going to come out, what heroes are going to be out. So it's just a fresh experience each time. So it's like living a zombie movie in real time. And
this game here, one of the things I've always said about your, like with the blind sword stuff, the black swan stuff, I'm still getting ready to give Shattered Union a go through, and I'm curious if you have the same approach in this. Is one of the biggest things I like about your systems is it's not overkill on the counters in a hex, with informational counters and unit counter. It's just so easy to deal. Do these type of things here, when you're designing this, do you keep that same thing in mind, or does this go a little bit farther? Maybe there's a little more.
Well, I absolutely despise markers in games. So
thank you.
And that's why Black Swan only has that one marker counter, really, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I even write in the rules to place the marker under the unit.
Mm-hmm.
Because nothing, and Hexy, I'm sure you agree with me. Nothing drives me more nuts than seeing a beautiful warrior with these beautiful pieces and all that, and all you see are shaken markers or disordered markers on top. That's all you see is a sea of markers. Not only is it inconvenient, it looks like crap. It's inconvenient because I got to search for my units under the markers.
That came into my mind because I had somebody that a new subscriber to my channel. He went back and looked at the A Most Fearful Sacrifice, the one that you sent me that I played from 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And he grilled me about how did you get so much combat and so many units that were just, they were all messed up with the yellow markers on them. And I couldn't remember. Well, maybe you're not getting the dice rolls. Maybe you're skipping something or you're missing something. And then I was looking, I'm like, I forgot how clean that board actually looks with only one extra counter in a hex.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah.
By the way, Bruce Garrick actually did buy the rights for the Barbarossa campaign and is working on it. So,
right.
Cool.
Yeah, so he purchased it in December 24, and then put a post up after Alan died in January of last year. So he's still working on it. It's got an artist and stuff.
Is he going to go? He's probably looking at Worthington, because Worthington seems to have a lot of those.
Yeah, I don't know. He doesn't say anything on that, but I was just reading through a thread on that. So
they do great versions of those old BG games.
The only problem is they cost way too much.
I know.
Yeah. By the way, what was my question you popped up, Tony?
Do you play your own games very much after playtesting and releases are behind you?
No.
I get it.
I never play them, ever.
I get it.
You can look at all my designer copies sitting right over there. They're all in shrink. I don't touch them anymore. I keep one copy, just, I don't know, so my kids can, when I go, my kids can have them or something. I don't know.
They'll sell them. They'll sell them for real expensive because they'll be out of print. So
I'm honest. I don't know about other designers, but I am honestly so burned out on my games. And in my gaming group on Sundays, I got one guy that keeps telling me, I want to play a blind swords game with you. And I just tell him no. I can't.
Yeah,
like,
it's exactly.
Maybe. Yeah.
I can't watch my own videos very often.
I know. I hate
Yeah.
editing myself because I can't stand my own voice. So
I was
yeah.
just going to ask you guys that. Do you rewatch your videos?
Yeah,
I can't-
no, that's
no.
why I don't edit. Just post what I'd say, and that's it.
Half the time, all I do is like if I
Oh,
have
Hexy,
breaks,
nobody's
I'll put
noticed,
in-
Hexy.
Yeah, I do the same thing, Hexa. If anything, I just add a few things, add some transitions, adjust the audio a little bit, and then put it up.
You know that if you say something wrong, you know damn well somebody's gonna say something in a comment. It's coming. So
Well, you can be like a couple of the other YouTube and just cancel off the comments. I'm like, after about a year, I cut the comments off on those videos because they're gonna ask me, why did you do this? And like you said, Hexy, like I don't remember, that was long enough ago. Like
I can't
remember
that.
what I did last week, let alone 2 years ago on a
I get
on a
that all the
video,
time,
yeah.
you know, at this, you know, you did this move and all that, and I look at the video and I did it 4 years ago, and I think it's great they're watching it, but I can't remember.
I don't think there's any middle of the road with these guys that are developers. I think that's one side of it. They either play the hell out of their games that they make, or they don't touch them after they're done. I don't think there's any guy, not that I've known, that's in the middle of the road where, maybe every now and then I will. It's either play the hell out of them or I don't touch them ever.
Mike plays everything all the time, so you know, not just his own games, but everything. He's
By the way,
Yes,
if you
Rib,
go 2 comments ago, the guy said that the real monsters are the humans. in
Oh
those.
yeah. This one right here.
Did you notice the card in the Dawn of the Zeds shot there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, don't you want me to get it up again?
Show that last illustration again.
Hold on, let me get it. I was going to say I'm going to get it up again, but that will be cut and used against me.
I don't know if that's why the comment was made, but yeah.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, I thought it was the card on the right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
No, yeah, I was gonna say I agree with a few comments ago. Jonathan made a comment about he loves GCACW games, but the stacks of markers, and I agree.
And I'm going to say the same about GBOH as well. I do like a bit of GBOH, but again, even Flying Colors gets a bit daft.
Oh God, don't start that. There's 5 people out there that'll start bombarding me about Flying Colors.
Yeah. It's a great game. It's a great game.
Yeah, but that's why you got to play it on Vassal, because you don't.
Somebody's going to bring me one at the get together in June. They told me that they got a few extra copies because I said I'm not buying the game. You know, I'm struggling with my first naval game right now, and I'm having to wait. And you know, I got started playing it, and you're telling me I got to wait. I get why I have to wait. Well, I was playing. So now Hexy's promise for the year, I don't know. It might be out the door. Herman, you got to make
this is your first naval game, is it? Flying Colors?
No, but I've said that's the one that intrigues me. That if I was going to do it, that would be
more
one
tactical, which fits you a little bit better, I think. Yeah.
Musket
and Pike. Yep.
Some of the first wargaming I ever got into was Al Navco 1200 scale ships. World War II sea combat.
I think miniatures works really well for sea combat. Like literally, I think that's the best when it comes to.
You don't have to put woods up and buildings and rocks and walls, do you?
Right.
Just have a.
It's just a blue. Just get a blue neoprene mat, and you're good to go.
It's interesting because, as Hexy points out, I've never done a naval game, and maybe subconsciously there. That's because I never thought any board game was better than the miniatures games I had played. So I don't know.
Well, Flying Colors is good.
Let's cut this off right here, okay? Because you know what? I know there's other little things that you're working on, and I'm just dying for you to go ahead and start talking about them. But there's also one other thing in my mind that is even probably a higher priority for me in your world.
Yeah.
Retirement in that golf course. That's all you think about.
There's my golf bag right there.
Herman, you can't go out playing golf when there's games to design. You know that, don't you?
That is a problem, I got to say. Do you know why it's in the house, Hexy?
The weather?
Because we played 2 days ago, 15 holes in the pouring rain.
I'm itching.
Everything is soaked. So I had to put it out on the porch for a while. Now it's back over here. But I don't know if I told you, my best score, 83, I shot about a month ago.
And You've got the wife playing too, right? I mean,
she's starting. Yes.
That is just so awesome.
It's fun. We do that together. We play 9 holes every Sunday or Saturday, whenever we can. But it's a lot of fun to do.
What is it they said about golf? It's a good walk ruined or something.
Yes, that was. I think that was Mark Twain or somebody like that.
Yeah.
Herman, I've got some other pictures here. We'll do in a moment.
Oh yeah, you want to get through those? Do you guys?
Maybe we'll take a little break.
Yeah, we're an hour in, so I think we're gonna do our little, in between.
Okay. Yeah.
This is a great time. If you need to, go get a drink.
That's right.
So I'm drinking a tracksuit Santa here. So
tracksuit Santa.
It's a holiday spiced ale.
I've got a nice Australian here.
I was going to guess it had to be an IPA with a name like that.
No, it's a spice. No, yeah, usually they are. They're crazy.
They're great.
Names like that. Yeah.
The Hoplocutioner is my favorite.
All right, Ruff. Tell us what happened.
Oh, I see. You tell everybody to take a break when I do my English. I mean, when I do the international history. Actually, we start in 1862.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. American Civil War, Battle of Valverde is fought near Fort Craig in New Mexico Territory.
Yes, that's an intro. There's only a few battles out there in the Southwest.
I was going to say, I've not heard of it. So, yeah.
Picacho Peak.
Picacho
Peak. Yeah. There's another one.
And then we whiz forward to 1910. The birth of Group Captain Sir Douglas Bader, who lost both his legs while attempting aerobatics in 1931 as a RAF fighter ace during the Second World War. He was credited with 20 aerial victories, many shared victories, and 11 enemy aircraft damaged. As a POW, he was a thorn in the side of the Germans, and he made so many attempts at escape that the Germans threatened to take away his legs. Now, the film with Kenneth Moore in it, what's it called now? They'll tell me in the chat. I remembered it earlier. It's a good old film, that is, if you want to watch it.
Aces High or something?
No, it was Reach for the Sky. Reach for the Sky, I think it was called. So that's Douglas Bader. 1916, World War I, the start of the Battle of Verdun in northeastern France. It was the longest and one of the most bloodiest in engagements of World War I, and continued until 16th of December. Good grief.
I have a GMT game on P500 about that battle.
Ooh, which one was that?
Hell So Terrible.
Yeah. We'll talk about that if you like.
Well, I'm just saying it's a fascinating battle. It really is.
Yeah. 1917, the loss of SS Mendy, a British passenger steamship that was chartered as a troop ship in the First World War. She was hit south of the Isle of Wight, which is really south of us, the island off the south coast of us, in thick fog by the cargo steamship Darrow. The damaged Darrow did not stay to assist. The SS Mendy sank, killing 646 people, most of whom, this is interesting, were black South African troops who were going to fight in France. The sinking was a major loss of life for the South African military and one of the 20th century's worst maritime disasters in UK waters. Nothing I did, the black soldiers fighting in France in the First World War.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. Well, not for them, unfortunately. 1945, World War II. During the Battle of Iwo Jima, Japanese kamikaze planes sink the escort carrier USS Bismarck C and damaged the USS Saratoga. And something else I'd not heard about, 1945 in World War II, of course, the Brazilian Expeditionary Force defeat the German forces in the Battle of Monte Castello on the Italian front. I didn't even know there were Brazilian forces around, but these guys, nicknamed the Smoking Snakes, was a military division of the Brazilian Army and Air Force that fought as part of the Allied forces in the Mediterranean theatre of World War II. It numbered around 25,900 men, including a full infantry division liaison flight, and fighter squadron. Placed under United States command, Brazilian troops fought primarily in the Italian campaign from September 44 to May 45, while the Brazilian Navy and Air Force, didn't know this either, took part in the Battle of the Atlantic from mid-42 until the end of the war. They operated mostly at the platoon level, seeing heavy combat in the arduous Gothic Line and during the 1945 final offensive. By the end of the war, it took 20,573 Axis prisoners, including 2 generals and close to 900 officers. The division lost 948 men killed in action across all 3 services. We need a game on that, I think. Crikey, not heard of that at all. But that might just be me. 1945, here we go. First flight of the Hawker Sea Fury, a British fighter aircraft developed for the Royal Navy by Hawker, the last propelled driven fighter to serve with the Royal Navy. It was also one of the fastest production single piston engine aircraft ever built. And yes, I've got a picture. And yes, go on, say it. Get your binoculars out or whatever you normally say.
Yeah, you said it for us.
Geez.
You know it so well.
I know. There it is. Look at that. Beautiful.
Oh,
So that's the old sea. Well, they had the Fury out a little while before, but this was the Sea Fury, not the Fury, the Sea Fury, which was, of course, they had foldy up wings and all that sort of thing. So there we are. That
the Brits had carriers.
moving along.
Boy, the silence was just like the
I know. Yeah, I know.
It was awesome.
It was that tumbleweed going across there. 1967. Here's something for you guys. McDonnell Aircraft completes its 2000th F4 Phantom II in 1967. And lastly, in 1988, the grave of Boudica, the warrior queen who fought the Romans in Britain nearly 2,000 years ago, was located by archaeologists under Platform 8 at King's Cross Railway Station in London. British Rail said, we just refurbished the platform. No, sorry. And anyone wanting to dig it up would have to come up with a strong case. Fortunately, they did. And that's the history today, which is quite fun, I thought. A couple of things I never knew.
I didn't know anything about that Brazil stuff.
No, the Brazil stuff, and also the black soldiers, that unfortunately got killed, but they were using black, we had black. It's the Commonwealth, of course, the Commonwealth.
But didn't a lot of the bad elements of Germany go to Brazil after the war?
No, Argentina.
No, that's
Argentina, Uruguay. Yeah,
Paraguay, Chile. Yeah.
Yep.
And a few went to Brazil, but
just Muse is saying, it does look a little Japanese with the big cowling thing at the front of it, the old Fury there. Yeah.
Well, I only have a couple things. Mine will be real quick.
Thank you, Charles.
Wait, who put that on that? Who put that on there?
That's Charles. Leave him alone.
I'm gonna like ban him. Like give him a timeout.
So mine, I only have a couple things. So I wanted to share something that I got this week that's not so much board game related, but since I'm in my little history section, this is history related, something that I've always wanted and I finally have gotten. I was super excited to get it, and there it is. I have 3 genuine Roman coins that I got this week. These are 1,600 years old. So we have.
God, Ruff, you remember using those, right?
Yeah, he made change for me when I bought a game from him.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, you can get these on eBay for $5.
That's right. So these are bronze coins. I got them from a website. It's called History Hoard. They find these, they authenticate them, and then they're
authenticated. Yes,
yes, they are authenticated. They are real.
so many things that are
So
fake.
many, yes, absolutely. But this is the coins of, this is Theodosius here, Theodosius the First. This is the last emperor of the United Roman Empire. And then when he died, the empire was permanently split between the East and West, with the East going to his son Arcadius and the West going to his son Honorius. And what's cool is that I can't zoom in enough on this pic to show you, but you can actually read the names on each of the coins to tell who it is. So, for instance, like this top one here, you'll see there is a D and an N, which is Dominus Noster, which is means our Lord in Latin, and then it's Theodosius around, and then there's a P and an F, which is Pius Felix, so pious and blessed, and then AUG, which is Augustus, and it's the same thing for the rest. Our Lord Arcadius, pious and blessed, Augustus. Our Lord Honorius, pious and blessed, Augustus. This is kind of the standard thing.
So they haven't got somebody's saying they haven't got AD printed on them. They've got the other saying that means our Lord's time, sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, the Romans didn't use AD. AD wasn't really used until much later. The Roman dating system is they date everything from the founding of the city of Rome.
Shut up.
Is this all of this? I'm assuming I don't know much about this. You know, I know the name Julius Caesar,
right?
But is these coins would be? I'm guessing post Constantine.
Yes, this is the late Roman Empire.
Okay,
so this is about probably about 75 years, 80 years before the Western Empire falls, or what we call the fall of Rome.
Because you were saying Lord and that stuff there, and that didn't mean anything till Constantine, right? I mean,
yeah, it wasn't really that term wasn't really used until later in the empire. It used to be the emperor was known as the first citizen, or the first, the first senator, the princeps, the first among equals, and then it was changed to our Lord. But yeah, I wanted to share. I was so excited that I got this week. I wanted to share it on the show, but then also because I'm excited for something that Herman's going to be talking about. I'm going to ask him about it. That I saw it's going bonkers on BackerKit right now on this little game about World War I, and we all know how much I like World War I games, Tony.
Yes.
So I thought. I have a World War I book to share. This one is called The Three Armies on the Somme. This is about the Battle of the Somme. So it's a good sized book. Unfortunately, sorry, Hexy, there's not really any pictures for you.
Oh, that came no good to me.
Sorry. But it is a great book. If you're interested, particularly in the Battle of the Somme, the single worst day in the entire British Army is the first day of the Battle of Somme. I think it was
very first day.
1,000 casualties.
Yeah.
First
day. Is it the very first day of that attack? That was the worst day of the British history. Yeah.
Yep. I think it was like 52,000 casualties, something like that. I mean, it was just horrible.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you try to run into machine guns, and they've got it set up as kill zones.
The total toll for the whole battle, which lasted months, it was in the hundreds of thousands. It was
it was like 250 plus thousand, if I remember right. Yeah, it was insane. So I've got one real quick thing, and thank you, Herman. I didn't realize this was actually out there, but it is the Hell So Terrible. So it's the Verdun 1916, which is a solitaire game. So there's 407 right now. So if you guys haven't got it and you're a solitaire player, get it out there, guys. Get it in there.
Thanks, Nordic.
I have a feeling this is similar to I know these are like is it going to be similar?
Here's an example, Tony, of not having AI to do a map. I did that on paint. I took a historical map and I just did paint over it.
Yeah. So is it similar to the Dunkirk type of system on that, or
no, not really. It's its own thing.
Okay, cool.
I wanted to do something with dice activation. That's that chart.
Good,
there.
because that thing is nasty. That Dunkirk nasty.
I think Ruff got beat up on that game.
I got
The sound of it.
What? That can't be. You're British. That can't possibly lose that game.
Good grief! No, it was bonkers. But great game. Great. Because of that, it's a great game. So this one, I'm just checking to see actually if I've P500 it.
You can see I have done it. I've got one. I ordered it, so we're good. Granted, I just did it.
I appreciate I appreciate the order, and I appreciate you mentioning it. It's
so
a lot. So it's interesting. A lot. And I asked Gene over at GMT. I wrote him. I go, "What's going on? This thing's kind of stagnant here at 400, you know." And it's just the P500s have just kind of all slowed down. You know, they're trying to clear out the titles that are in there. Also, one of the reasons I took back At Any Cost, which we could talk about.
I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah.
Yes, because I'm waiting for that. Yes.
Yeah. So they're trying to clear those out, so maybe the interest kind of then spreads out to the other titles. But I mean, I guess with the whole, the tariff situation, the cost of games, the shipping questions, all that, everybody's kind of like leaned off a little bit on the P500, so it's not quite as active. I mean, even like Volko's game on the Verdun is kind of stagnated too. It's just only a couple of those games. I guess a coin game, things like that will rocket through there. But
yeah,
the new design with a new system it's tough to get it going now.
So my understanding of with At Any Cost Mets that you had with GMT is that when I saw online is that they gave you the rights back and you're now going to Hexasim and they're doing all new artwork and everything for it and kind of updating a little bit more.
Oh, that's going to be beautiful. Hexasim does such a great job with their art.
So Gene's very good. Like if you tell him, look, I'm not happy with the way things are progressing. And by the way, we all can see the numbers. It was only at 260 or something, right? And it's been up there for months. And I'm like, we need to do something else. He's very accommodating. So he said, no, you can have it back. And I said, look, I'm thinking of Hexasim for a couple of reasons. One, they're closely associated with GMT. So anybody who orders the game through GMT has an immediate connection to Hexasim, so it's not like some obscure person. And the second thing is they're a French publisher, and I figured, well, the French love At Any Cost because I don't disrespect the French army in the Franco-Prussian War. They're actually good in it, right?
Oh, so you mean any World War I game, they're not going to be very happy, or any early World War II game, they're not probably going to go for.
Right. So they were very excited to get it, and then they said, "Oh yeah, we'll do it." And you know what? We want more. We want you to do more Franco-Prussian War battles using the system. So
I know there's a lot of people that have been I know a few people that are very interested in the Franco-Prussian War that would love to have more battles off of that. So
that's good. That's awesome. So I'm gonna obviously it's gonna have all new artwork. I'm trying to see if I can keep the map because the map is gorgeous and I would like to keep it if possible. Other than that, I'm going to try to streamline it again. Like I said in one of my other posts on Board Game Geek, I'm getting to be an old fart now. I'm going to be 70 next month, and I want easier to play games. More accessible, something that I don't have to grind through anymore. So I'm going to try to streamline it, not strip it down. There's a difference. Just maybe redesign some parts that are a little smoother. Yeah.
Now hold on a second now here, because you've got stuff that you've talked about months ago, and you and I've had a conversation about it that I am just dying to hear progression on, and that is more stuff in the Age of Reason and in Black Powder in particular, with Napoleonics and with the American Revolution, the American War of Independence, as some people call it.
Yeah.
I know you've got 2 or 3 titles that were going through your head. And where are you standing on that?
Yeah, the American Revolution part I wanted to do with Tattered Flags, which a tactical, like cow pens or one of those battles. And I think that system would work really well for American Revolution. So I wanted to do that. Also wanted to do the Cornfield at Antietam. That's supposed to be the next one. It's just a matter of finding the time to do that. And as far as Napoleonics, we'll be talking about that in a second. You'll see something up there.
I'm there already.
Okay.
you want me to get that up now?
Yeah, go ahead. Pull it up.
Well, I know
Well,
Nate's a big Napoleonic guy, isn't he? So he might want to look at this.
Well, I'll slack bladder.
He's a teacher. You should have a teacher. He could go. He should be able to go at least 2 hours without going to the bathroom.
It's getting Jess because
I'll go 6.5 hours some days, depending on what my schedule's like at school.
I'm there. So. No, I couldn't last 6.5 hours.
I haven't even gone yet, so something's interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
But, or you got a call or one.
I heard Napoleonics and I ran back.
Yeah, I just said, isn't Nate into Napoleonics?
I drank too much Diet Dr. Pepper. I'm like, yeah.
So this was released by Revolution a couple days ago. So this is the box cover and the box back for the March Against Us, the Battle of Leipzig. Beautiful work as usual by Revolution with their. I was hoping they didn't do a black box so it wouldn't get mixed up with all the blonde sword stuff.
Well, I'm trying. There we go. That's better. Right.
So this is going to be basically Napoleonic blind swords, the first one.
Zoom into the back of the box, Ruff.
Yep.
I'll try.
So we can see the counters and everything. If
I actually sent Ruff.
We've got some of the cards and things, but the counters are up there, right? Okay, let's have a zoom in.
Well, I actually sent you a picture of the counters.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, shut up, mate.
Oh, they look cool.
They look cool, don't they? Oh,
yeah. We
Oh, bloody hell! Hold on. With you. Oh, there we go. There we are. Sorted. Right.
Hey, look, I was intending to slow down my board game buying this year, but not this one. No.
Let's have a look at the counters then. Hold on a sec. Let me get that up.
Oh, they don't have.
Yeah, I did a card and a counter. Yeah.
They're not showing it on the site yet.
No, it's not there yet.
Oh, those counters look great.
Well, I'm glad you like them. There was some controversy about them because some people said, "Oh, they look a little too cartoonish," but I like them. The number of figures actually tells you how big the unit is. Real quickly, if I can go through the values, let's see. So if you take the top left Russian unit there, the B is which army they're in, the Army of Bohemia. CW is their core. So that's CW is, oh my God, I'm having a brain fart. Core Wittgenstein. That's the first Russian corps. I'm sorry, it's the wing Corps Wittgenstein. First Russian corps. Then on the left side there, you'll see 5th Infantry Division. D means deployed. So the front of the counter is deployed. The back of the counter is concentrated. They have different movement values and different morale values and different SP values, depending on which mode you're in. The flag, of course, because I like flags, so everybody's got to have a flag. The movement rates under the flag. The SP is the 6, so it's the strength points. I think it's 1 SP for 500 men. The asterisk means they have attached Jaegers or Grenzers, and so you can use a card with them, an event card. And the 3 is their cohesion rating. If you see the middle number there, that's their attached artillery. So the Prussian unit right under it there has 1 factor of artillery that it can shoot. So that's the divisional artillery. You'll see the artillery unit itself has a 7, so that's all its artillery is a 7. 3 of that is heavy guns, and they have a longer range. So you can just shoot with the heavy guns out 3 hexes, or everybody out to 1 or 2 hexes.
Here's a plus to this already. So all of the big Napoleon, and I've got a bunch of them, and so you put the silhouettes on here painted in uniform colors, but you kept the counter background colors identifiable. Whereas a lot of the Napoleon, like a Labatai is a big one.
Oh yeah,
they painted vest, belt, pants, and whenever I set one up, I'm like, I can't tell who's French or who's Austrian.
Mm-hmm.
So I like this already.
And you used Russian green,
right?
As opposed to like some games I've seen that use brown for the Russians. I'm like, no, green was the color that they used. So,
yep.
Well, yeah, green is in our game. Me and Ruff are playing. The Russians are green.
Yeah,
in the
to me, these two colors just look like top one is a dark mush, bottom one is a slightly lighter mush.
That's why we put the flag there too. Okay.
But
this goes all the way. I mean, I've talked about this before on your shows. This goes all the way back to my miniatures days when I cared about all the uniform detail, the flag detail, all that. It's also why I don't like markers on, because when you're doing miniatures, you're trying to even reduce the amount of interference by markers. So casualty markers will actually be a painted dead guy on a grass stand, so it blends in and it looks nice. And that's probably where I got all my preferences from. But yeah, this is going to be the Napoleonic blind swords. I'm trying to keep this, as I think Hexy was referring to this before, I'm trying to keep this as playable as possible again, but still feel like Napoleonics. It's not going to feel like Civil War. It's not going to feel like World War II or anything else like that. And the way I do that is, again, event cards have all that flavor. I've built events and results into the tables that reflect the tactics, etc. So they're not separate rules that you have to remember. It's all kind of integrated into the system itself. So if you move your guys really fast, you're going to use the other side, concentrated mode, right? But you're not going to have as many men available for combat, so it has a lower SP, all right? But the morale is better. Why? Because you put men in columns to keep their morale strong. Deploy, which is this side, you have more men to fight with, you move slower, and your morale is a little bit lower because your men are now dispersed, they're fighting, they're in open order, their skirmishers are out, etc. So even something as complex as Napoleonic formations and tactics is easily reflected in just what side of the counter you're using.
I'm curious, Herman, with okay, so blind swords. Okay, I mean, I'm thinking of the number of the ACW battles that you have in the blind sword system, and I'm just thinking to myself, Napoleonics, my God, that's got to be 100-fold greater number of battles that you could do. Well, how far are you going to go with this? Are you going to pass it on to somebody else to pick it up when you say, nope, I'm going to the golf course?
So, yeah. So that's one of the reasons I started with the biggest Napoleonic battle. Actually, the biggest battle in Europe before World War I. Yeah. And I just said, you know what, guys, I told Revolution. Well, one of the reasons I'm doing it is because my mother was born in Leipzig. And so it's kind of a tribute to her. She lived right next to the battlefield. And I said, I'm just going to go with the biggest battle there is. And if the system works for the biggest battle, then we can always scale it back for all the other battles. And that the plan is to do most of the major Napoleonic battles. No, I'm not going to do all of them. Hopefully people will step on board like they did with the ACW and contribute to the series.
Yeah, I was going to say the way, I mean, I can't keep up with the Blind Swords ACW stuff as it is. It's hard to keep up with those games as it is.
Napoleonics needs a system like this. With what we have out there that's tactical nowadays, this is going to be a breath of fresh air.
Mm-hmm. So this is an example of a card. So this is a little bit more restrictive than ACW. So what you have to do is the leaders, Marat, Ney, and then, Blucher, etc., all have a set of cards with an order already written on them. So when you feed your cards to activate, you actually have to pick the cards that have the order that you want to give them. So it's it's a bit more restrictive than the ACW. So the thing is, let's say you got Marat and you might say, well, I want to attack with that cord. I want to maneuver with this one. So you're feeding in an attack and maneuver card into the deck. When it gets pulled, if you don't want to maneuver yet, or let's say you don't want to attack yet because your idea is I'm going to maneuver first, then I'm going to attack, and you pull them out of order, you can hold cards. All right. So you can hold the card and play it when you want, except there's a couple of mechanisms in the game where you can have your opponent discard a held card. So if you hold it, you're risking also losing it. So, and then what you do is, if this card comes out, Marat's units are going to maneuver. You roll black-white dice to get 11 to 66. How many cores can he activate? And if you roll doubles, I don't know if you can read that on the bottom. If you roll doubles, you can pick 2 other Marat units. So units that Marat, any 2 units, and you can give them any order you want if you roll doubles. So you can then parlay this into, I'm maneuvering some guys and I'm going to attack with 2 other guys over here. or so it gives you, because it's 2-hour turns, so you need a little bit more activity within the turn structure.
And there's options. You can.
There's 22 by 34 maps.
So it's a 2-mapper then.
Yep. There are scenarios. I mean, obviously the scenario.
We'll probably throw one
Is
map
there
scenario.
out of curiosity, is there a picture of the map?
No, didn't send me that.
I didn't include. Oh shoot, I meant to do that. I forgot. It's on the back of the box. If you want to.
Oh, sorry. Hold on.
Yeah.
Well, Revolution does a great job with their games. I have no complaints on anything with other than my Long Street Attacks. I've played so many scenarios that my chit draws are starting to get a little more damaged because I've played that game so much.
Yeah.
So Long Street Attacks has just been so great. So
yeah, the maps behind the cards. Yeah, it's not
see a little bit of it. Yeah,
you can't really get a good look at it, but Jose Fowler did those maps. The same guy who does the Black Swan maps. And I mean, he's got the roads are tree lined, all that kind of stuff is in there. It's nice.
Yeah,
looks good.
What's the scale on that? Because obviously, is it smaller than some of the other things? Because if you're saying tree lined roads, then obviously, is it smaller than the Civil War scale wise, like distance on the hexes?
No, Leipzig's huge.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's actually bigger. The hexes are actually bigger. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
you're fitting 500,000 men in that space, so
yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was just on Revolution's website, and they're having a Monocacy blind swords, and I like that map. There's nothing on that map. It's basically green. It's almost like a naval map. There's like no there's like nothing on it.
I think the Atlanta battles are being done by Gina Willis, I believe, right?
Yes. Yep. I talked with Gina when she did her Glorious Chance when we did a stream with her. And that's an intelligent young lady there.
Yep. I'm sure it's going to be awesome.
Yep.
So let me ask about the last game real quick before we run out of time, because I'm going to get yelled at. Well, there's two actually.
When's the expected release for the Leipzig game?
So I just finished my personal testing, and just this morning I emailed everything. Actually, it was yesterday. I emailed everything to Revolution because they do their own testing. They do a great job. Roger and Richard, they're going to roll through this thing. And it's interesting. They actually just wrote me this morning and said, by the way, a professor reached out to us, and the guy who wrote a book about the Napoleonic Wars and all, and he wanted to just, if I wanted my order of battle double checked, and I said, absolutely. So I sent them everything to double check and make sure. It's a huge battle. There's so much information. And I have some older games, Napoleon at Leipzig, and I look at their order of battle, and there's some areas that are gray, like, which units were where, when, how, that kind of thing. So if he could make a call on those would be great.
So it's solo wise because of cards. I don't know. Is it?
Just like a chit pull or card pull game. It's the same idea.
That's fine. That's solo friendly then. Great. Yep. Okay.
And there's events in there and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's get to your last two. What's the next one?
Yeah, I don't want to take up the entire show here. I'm sorry.
Well, that's why you're here. You're the guest. You're the guest, Herm.
So the last little picture there is just a little teaser. I wanted to show off his art.
Oh, right. You don't want the World War One thing.
Well, we'll leave that last, I guess, right?
Okie doke. Right. Hold on. Let's.
This is going up Nate's Alley's another World War One game.
Looks good.
Yeah, that's artwork by Riccardo Dariano.
Wow.
I know, right? So those are there's a game coming out from Flying Pig called Kill All Fromutians. And it's basically science fiction in magnificent style, and these are the aliens that are waiting for you at the other end.
Wow.
These are the rocket launcher aliens. So, and he just, I can't wait to see what these look like on a counter.
That's incredible.
Or maybe as a miniature.
Or maybe.
Maybe.
They might, with this artwork, they might want to do like supersized counters or something, because that's a lot
It
of
needs
detail
something,
there.
doesn't it? That show
Yeah.
that artwork off.
Yeah, he does such great work. So I did a game with White Dog called Vultures Lead the Way, and when I left White Dog, I turned this over to Flying Pig. We changed the Mark loves titles like this, so they're called Fermicians because of Enrico Fermi. Okay, and these are the aliens that Enrico Fermi was referring to, so they're Fermicians. And he insisted on naming the game "Kill All Fermicians." So there you go. But
at least
yeah, we
you know
had
what you've got to do.
Yes, IMS with aliens is exactly right. That was a lot of fun to design because there's 2 different planets and they both have different characteristics. And you're taking your Vultures, who are basically your space rangers, and you're running across this field, and these aliens are throwing all sorts of bizarro stuff at you, including these guys. So that'll be coming out later in the year.
So who is fighting against these?
What's that?
Who's fighting? Is it humans? Is it? It's set.
Yes,
Is
it's
it
Vultures? They're rangers. I named them Vultures. You'll like this, Nate, because for Voltigares.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
The elite light troops that were sent out front. So, yep,
that's awesome.
Okay, great. Oh, awesome. I hope you enjoy it. And then finally, so on Backer Kit right now is, you guys, did you have Warfred on? You'd had Warfred on.
We did, yeah.
And then Wes. So Backer Kit has been live for 2 weeks now. We hit, I don't know what we're at now. I think we're at $31,000 or something like that. Yep. It's really doing well. So I promised them I would play the teaser video, or ask you guys.
I'll try, Herm. I'll try. Here we go. Let me see if I can get this going.
Oh, and guess who the narrator is? Extra points.
Oh, no, should have used me. I recognize the voice. Who is it? Oh, let's play it first.
You see who can guess in the chat.
Yeah, I recognize the voice. I'm just trying to get it so I can see both things at the same time. No, let's do that. No, I'll do that.
Now I know why the Brits didn't have aircraft carriers.
Here we go.
From acclaimed designer Hermann Luttmann comes a new tactical simulation of the Great War's most harrowing moments. This is not just a game of strategy, it's a game of nerve.
Zilla Blitz.
In a Forlorn Hope, you command a regiment of 3 battalions. Your goal? Drive your forces forward with speed and efficiency to seize the enemy lines. Every step forward is a gamble against the wall of fire. True to Luttmann's design philosophy, a Forlorn Hope uses a tense push-your-luck system. Every activation card you draw moves your battalions forward, but at a cost. Do you press the attack or hunker down to save your men from a catastrophic cohesion loss? Use your officers to jumpstart units huddled in shell craters. Play solo against a brutal AI system, or join forces in a cooperative multiplayer assault. 6 historical scenarios, infinite tough decisions. Face the horror of the trenches and lead your regiment to a glorious breakthrough. Back a Forlorn Hope on Backer Kit today.
All right, your guesses were correct. No, it was not James Earl Jones.
No.
Okay, I'm getting up the website right now for anybody that wants to go through that. So,
by the way, Ruff,
you should have had a British bloke do it.
You would appreciate the names of the British commanders.
Yeah.
Can you? You probably can't see it in the video, but there is a Edmund Blackadder.
Oh no! I just started seeing those YouTube clips.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I couldn't help myself.
That is awesome.
That's good. That's good.
So yeah, pull it up because this is just. I mean, it's just gone bonkers. I mean, there's already 419 backers. It was only trying to get $10,000, and now it's up to almost $32,000, and has gotten through. I think almost every stretch goal except the last stretch goal is needs 150 people to share it.
Well, there's going to be one after that involves me doing some work.
Oh,
damn them stretch goals. Yes.
Yeah, it's always the stretch goals.
very interesting art style.
So that's Tawa and Rebecca. So it is definitely what do they call it? A noir.
Yeah.
We wanted, so I love the style because it gives you that bleak style that you kind of you want to get in a trench game like that.
Exactly. Yeah, it's very cool. I like that you have, what is it? I think you just passed it. It said wood stands.
Yes.
Yeah, wood standees, which is cool. Which is very nice.
Yep. You get leader cards on the bottom there. There's a Colonel Clink.
Uwe Klink. You got Uwe
yes.
Klink. David Crockett.
Yes.
Henry Perot. Really? And Howard Blackadder. Yeah, I see that. This definitely does look interesting. So they've already passed the premium card.
It's a very tough balancing act because we wanted. So this is Warfrat's first game, so I was very nervous. I was hoping we'd make it because I didn't want their first one to fail, of course. But again, this is risky in that you're walking the line between mass market appeal and you don't want wargamers to scoff at it, right?
Right.
Wow, you got some big names pumping this game up. So you got Grant Wiley from Worthington game. You have Devin from Flying Pigs games.
Denver, yeah.
And you have a cat, apparently. I don't get that, but
I think that's Liz Davidson's cat, I believe.
Oh. Yep. So and you even got Stuka Joe pushing it. So yeah, this is it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, he is a bit of a mercenary.
So let me ask. It said there are 4 nations in it. I'm guessing from what I could see that at least there's British, French.
Right.
Who are the other 2?
German and US.
Okay.
So there's 6 scenarios, and I make sure everybody attacks at some point in each of them. The most unusual one is the Lost Battalion. So there's one scenario where you're actually trying to save the Lost Battalion. And there is a Cher Ami card, event card in there for the pigeon. The pigeon that is stuck in the Smithsonian.
Is that the one that Blackadder shot?
What?
If you've watched Blackadder the 4th. So,
Did he shoot a pigeon?
Yeah, it was what's his name? Stephen Fry's prized pigeon, and he had to go to a court martial for it, and was put in front of the firing squad.
I love Stephen Fry and Hugh Laurie.
Lord Melchit's prized pigeon. Yeah, I think they shot it and ate it.
And my understanding is there's like a campaign as well, in addition to just the scenarios that you can play.
So the Verdun scenario has 2 games in it. One where you attack as the Germans, and then depending on how well you do, then you counterattack as the French in the second game. And then, strangely enough, the Somme is actually 4 games. So you're doing each little part of the Somme, and the terrain changes in each one, and you accumulate your score through the 4 games.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Still got 19 days left too, so it's already been funded, and if Herman's name's on it, it's going to get taken care of.
The problem is, of course, for us guys over this side of the pond, is the shipping.
Shouldn't shoot American carrier pigeons then.
It wasn't. It was a British carrier pigeon.
Here, Ruff, if it makes you feel better, one of my favorite shows is Last of the Summer Wine.
Oh, that is a funny show.
No, that's good. Yeah, no, it's been going. Well, it's stopped now, but it went for years and years with lots of different character changes, and that as they died, that's how long it was going. The people that were in it sort of passed on.
Oh wow! What's the name of it?
Last of the
Summer Wine.
It's a very gentle sort of comedy.
And Are You Being Served is another good one.
Yes.
Oh, yep, that's a good one.
I actually like. You talk about gentle. The Detectorists, I liked a lot.
Yes. That's what's his name?
I've seen them and I don't remember their name, but
yeah, in lots of films.
So okay, so let me ask, and with a Forlorn Hope, so it's a solitaire game, but you can also play it cooperatively, is my understanding.
Yeah, you can play 3 players, each person taking a battalion, and you work together. And then the system changes a little bit the way the cards work. So in this version, this is, I think I'm going to have like 5, just to let you know, Tony, it's going to be like 5 published games using the Push Your Luck, but each one is done differently.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. Yeah, definitely.
So this one, I don't know if you saw those cards, but you get a hand of cards, and you're signing the cards to the different battalions. The problem is if you draw event cards, all the event cards come off, and you resolve an event. And then if you get shortchanged on cards, then because you drew too many event cards, you actually randomly have to assign a card to a battalion. So yeah, there's a little bit more planning in this one, unless you draw a bad hand of cards, obviously.
What kind of things come up as you traverse the terrain to the other side?
Well, some are scenario built. So there's one, the Ypres one, it's called Wipers, and it has the famous Kindermord, the Battle of Langermark, where the Germans.
Toby Jones, that's the man. Yep.
Yeah, where it's called. There's some Slaughter of the Innocents cards, where the Germans. I don't know if you remember the whole story, but they were actually marching with the bands and the flags going, and in tight formations, getting mowed down by the British.
Yeah.
There's cards that will reflect that. Like I said before, the Cher-Amique card comes in where it helps you with finding the lost battalion. But generally speaking, as far as the general cards go, artillery, different types of artillery, by the way, there's curtain barrages, hurricane barrages, and walking barrages. Each functions differently on the grid.
Okay.
So I'm not going to tell you that there's any strategy to avoiding artillery fire, because there wasn't any. You put your guys out there and you just pray that they dance through raindrops. There's different types of machine gun fire too. So if you get too close and you happen to pull that card, there's sweeping machine gun fire and there's penetrating machine gun fire hitting the different zones. Aside from that, you can run into barbed wire that you didn't cut. You can run into a minefield that you didn't see. The enemy can counterattack you. So that they could send a patrol out from the trenches and actually attack you as you're crossing. So lots of different things can happen.
Okay.
What happens when you?
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just saying the Passchendaele one. One of the areas in each battalion will become flooded, and there's an actual big tile that goes down, and you have to use the boards. I forget the boards. You have to lay down the boards to cross the mud.
Yeah.
So every scenario has a different aspect to it about the way it plays, the way it scores.
Running boards. You have to put the running boards across. So you
running boards, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I
go ahead.
So when you get to the end.
Yeah. So, when you get all the way to the end, I assume you're facing the enemy trench.
So what happens is in the enemy trenches, you have face down counters that represent the defenders. You can put bombardment counters on them like you do with IMS and Crowbar and the others. And then when you get there, you have to melee them in the trenches. You'll do better if you have supporting guys with you along. So sending that one guy by himself doesn't really do you much good. You want to keep them.
Yeah.
And the other thing I have in this game is called the wave bonus. So if at the end of any turn you have a steady line going across, consecutive line, you will gain tactics chits. So you're trying to keep the wave together, right? If it gets too disjointed, you're not going to gain any tactics chits.
Okay.
So, yep.
All I was going to say is, it's not. You don't have to answer this. It's just of interest to me. What made you pick Wolf Rats to publish it, as opposed to the other people you've been involved with over the years?
They interviewed me on the Rat Chat, and we were talking about it in magnificent style. And I told them the story that originally the game was going to be a trench game. And Alan Emmerich at the time talked me out of it because he said, well, that's not going to sell. You have to pick something that's a little bit more juicy. So we ended up doing Pickett's Charge because everybody knows about Pickett's Charge, right? Yeah. And they asked me that, and then they said, don't you ever want to do the original concept for the game? And I said, yeah, sure. And that's when they said, well, how about for us? And that started.
Right. Okay. No,
I'm sorry.
Fair enough.
Pickett's
They're
Charge.
good lads. They're nice lads.
Pickett's Charge.
Yeah, I'll see them. I'll be at PresCon this week. But wait, what's today? Saturday. So Thursday through Sunday next week, or this week. Is that technically next week? It's next week, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to confuse people, and it's 2 weeks. So I'll be there, and we'll be demoing a Forlorn Hope, and I'll have Dawn of the Zeds with me too.
Hey.
Awesome. Well, that's great. Well, definitely congratulations are in order at least, because it's just going, like I said, gangbusters online.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
We have a contest going on now. Like, if it goes past the last stretch goal, I have to design another scenario. So
no.
I came up with some battles, and we have a poll going. Which battle would you like? And if I gave you the list I came up with, I'm sure you could pick the number one that's in the lead right now. It's Bella Wood. So yeah,
that would
be
the Americans. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now
it'll be called Devil Dogs, of course.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, how do you see do you see this as a system? Do you see this more as kind of just one game and like as a set theme on this game, and then you'll go to a different theme on another game, or is this just a one-off?
So far the feedback's been like, well, how about this battle, and how about this one?
Mm-hmm.
So probably if we do another set, it'll have tanks. So I will come up with a way to do a tank or a series of tanks. And a lot of people, we can do you talk about a campaign game. I could do the 11 battles of the Izanzo as a scenarios.
Well, I was going to mention the Austro-Hungarians. I mean, people give them a lot of crap, but I mean, they survived for 4 years and millions of casualties and still survived almost to the end.
It's funny you say that. I always thought to myself, if I had to do another solitaire game where you were challenged all the time, I would do Austria-Hungary in World War I. I think Habsburg Eclipse does that with the States of Sieges, but I'm talking maybe a little crunchier approach to that. Yeah, you're right. If you think about what the Austro-Hungarians had to do with a mediocre army, pretty much, they were hit on all sides, right, by everybody. It's pretty fascinating. I like World War I. I find World War I so much more interesting than World War II. There's just so many fronts, so many different types of armies. So many things could have changed, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, the technology has totally changed throughout that entire war. You started with, in some cases, people still being in the early 1800s or late 1800s weaponry, and then ending with airplanes. I mean,
tanks, even tanks, yeah.
Talking about coming full circle, talking about our previous conversation about games going off the rails and script and all that. Mark Walker asked me, he goes, wouldn't you like to do like a strategic World War I game? And I go, well, I mean, I developed Lamps Are Going Out, but I don't know of any World War I game off the top of my head. I'm sure there are some. Seems like every strategic World War I game, you get your set historic events that happen, right? So Schlieffen Plan has to happen, Tannenberg has to happen, Marne has to happen, Jutland has to happen, Gallipoli's got to happen. You get that scripted. I would like to do a
Paths of Glory is that way too. Eventually, all those things happen with the cards and stuff. Yeah.
Do you mean a sort of thing like I've only got the Del Censo Axis Empires where it can go anywhere?
That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a game that starts after the assassination of the Archduke Ferdinand,
And then it goes anywhere. Yeah.
Now you go, right?
That's one of the things that I like about
no events, nothing, right? You just go to it. Trench warfare or air warfare, all that will evolve naturally by what you do during the game, right? So the Western Front didn't have to be the way it is. It happened that way because of circumstances. I mean, guys were building trenches in the Civil War, so it wasn't like a new concept to do a trench. That was pretty common. But because of the strategic situation the Germans found themselves in at that time, they were going to go to the Eastern Front and defeat the Russians. So what did they do on the Western Front? Was that, well, we're going to hold on to what we got. So we're going to build this trench system, and we're going to hold on to this part of France. So we have a better hand here, and go beat the Russians in the meantime. So that there are reasons that things developed the way they did. Maybe a game where that happens naturally. Maybe you never have a trench war. Maybe you never have a Western Front.
Or maybe they just push forward west and forget about the Russians for a moment until they consolidate west. Yeah.
Tannenberg never happens. The Russians don't even get their shit together in time. Whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, in the real world, there were huge disagreements in the German high command of, do we concentrate on the Western Front or the Eastern Front? And like Falkenhayn wanted to do the Western Front, and Ludendorff and Hindenburg wanted to do the Eastern Front, and it just kept going back and forth. So,
especially after
one of the reasons why, one of the reasons why actually the Germans did so well in World War I is because they kept the Kaiser out of it, unlike World War II when
well,
the big guy was a part of everything and thought he knew how to do anything. So
Hitler?
Yeah. He made every decision, but they kept the Kaiser out of all the military decisions.
Yeah. Hey, do you know the answer to this? Because you're a World War I guy. Where was Spain during World War I?
Spain was, at that point, Spain was way on the decline, and Spain. As you know, they went into a full-blown civil war after World War I, and went Republican Spain, I guess, for a while. But Spain was south of France. Yeah. Spain was just not in a position really to do anything. Right. They were financially broke. Their armies were not very good. They were still reeling from losing all the colonies in the New World. By the 20th century. And Portugal had just gotten rid of its monarchy. It's 500-year-old monarchy, and it swapped. So they were in the midst of chaos as well. So they weren't in any position to do anything.
That's one of the first things I thought of when I was, if you're going to do an open-ended game, how do you treat Spain, right? Because that's the back door to France, obviously. So, could Germany have done something with Spain to
that's where totalitarian Axis empires is interesting, because you could have Spain actually join the Axis or the Allies. It could happen. A lot of the Axis miners could join the Allies. So doing a Totalitarian Axis empires World War I version, I think would be really interesting, because because honestly, with the way things go, there's no guarantee that each side was going to go the way they were going to go.
No. A lot of people forget Italy was originally
correct.
Well, Italy flip flops both wars. Literally,
that's where, like you and someone mentioned, Italy was a big player too. Yeah, Italy was a member of the Triple Alliance, but in the terms of the treaty, they were not bound to join in an offensive war.
Right.
They only were bound for a defensive war, and because Germany and Austria-Hungary had started it, they decided to stay neutral. Now, there were several attempts and several diplomatic negotiations between them of the Italians potentially joining the Central Powers, but it was the British that overpromised nearly the entirety of the Adriatic coast.
As we do. Overpromise. Yeah.
So you could get an alternate history in there, because there was, you could have Italy come in as the Central Powers, but then there was also an attempt by the Austro-Hungarians. They had 4 dreadnoughts to force the Adriatic Open into the Mediterranean to stop the British and the French navies in the Med.
That's the great what if World War I naval thing was the Austrians and the Italians.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because they had both pretty substantial fleets.
Yeah. Or
if the Ottomans had their their stuff together and had closed the Suez Canal when they had tried to invade Egypt.
Right.
But even like the Russians with their revolution, that could have happened a little later, a little earlier. That would have
exactly. That's another big what if. It's because every game automatically assumes the Russian Revolution is going to eventually happen. Maybe it doesn't.
Yeah.
Or there was in the United States.
Different time. Yeah.
Or there was the United States that Teddy Roosevelt during the time was begging America, please go into the war, war, and Wilson refused.
Yep.
And my extent of this era is the movie Dr. Zhivago. That's all I got. World War I just doesn't.
Dude, I think you would dig World War I, especially the Eastern Front. I
said that if you were going to give me a World War I game, you'd have to give me something in the East Front because I enjoyed Rock of the Marne, and I'm glad you finished your Rock of the Marne. I would have been disappointed if you hadn't. And
that was a slog. That was a slog. But yeah.
Maybe you did enjoy not Paris, which was the German push to there before it went to sort of trench warfare.
Right.
So we've got that push forward.
I'm sure there's. I tell you what, I would like to try is an aerial, a dogfight type game.
What about naval? World War I naval. I think. Yeah.
Flying Pig's got a World War I naval World War I air game coming out.
That could, I think that could intrigue me. So
I did one game for Yeah Magazine called Race to the Sea, and it was about that part of the Western Front where the two armies were trying to outflank each other. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Really interesting.
Yeah, y'all just lost me when you went down the WW1 trail. That just, I'm sorry. I mean, I know what started.
Perfect example of why I find this so much more interesting than World War II.
Well, to me, the politics in World War I and the start is more interesting than World War II, because World War II was just some nutbag thinking he was all that, and everybody not wanting to fight because of World War I. That's really what a lot of why people rolled over so easily, particularly Chamberlain rolled over so easily, was because they didn't want to fight, as in they're still getting over with World War I.
Look at the way that the conscription happened in this country and the Commonwealth and France. There was the French were going, oh no, not again. Different.
I know the French get a bad rap for giving up in France, but they actually put up a pretty decent fight at the beginning.
Yeah, when they lost 1/3 of all men in France.
Mm-hmm. The open checkbook thing from Germany to Austria kind of interests me. How that just
that's still a controversy.
Every now and then I'll see a documentary about that.
Shackled to a corpse.
I'll try to pay attention to it. But
that's
you know what? When I was so my heart almost went right into my stomach when Tony and I were playing The Lamps Are Going Out, and I'm the central power. I'm doing great. I'm like, oh yes, it's awesome. All of a sudden, I pull out that card, Shackled to a Corpse. Like, oh no, this is gonna be terrible.
Guess who designed that card?
It's his fault. It's his fault, isn't it?
Oh God! No, thank you, Herman. I mean, I didn't have much of I still didn't stand. I mean, I still didn't survive. See, World War I is one of those games that I think were conflicts that could actually go either way. Unlike World War II, where you kind of saw the writing on the wall. World War I could have gone.
Well, it could have gone until you guys suddenly goes, okay, we'll help you out, and you never
we're in the war for all of 6 months.
Never let us forget it. All right, so
oh, don't forget World War II was the same way too. So let's
that's what I'm saying. Well, when you eventually try World War I,
that's right. How many times we got to do this, Ruff?
No, honestly, when the U.S. entered World War II, the East Front was starting to fail. Like it was, you would be more like Russian than German, most likely, because
we are a 2-time World War champion. We got 2 of them belts. Yeah.
All right, guys. We could literally, and I could understand. Dave's like, we could listen for another 2 hours.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you, Dave.
We are past our time, and Hexy did not get called out.
No, I didn't. And I at 8 o'clock, I hope I don't get one either tonight. So
So no, I
Thank you for
really
coming,
want to
Hexy.
thank everybody. I want to thank Herman for coming in, and Hexy.
Yeah,
I'm
thanks,
glad you
Herman.
were able to.
Thanks,
I'm glad you
Thanks
reached
for
out.
coming,
bud.
Hexy. Keep it on
Yeah,
the
I
short
appreciate
grass.
it.
And
I
Hexy, yes,
appreciate it.
yes, all right. Thank you, Hexy.
Yeah,
Yes.
thank you. Keep it on the short
Yeah,
grass.
it's one of those things where I appreciate everybody that comes on, and we have such a great community here, and I really enjoy it. So Nate, Ruff, thank you as usual. We had a great time. Hexy, great to have you on. You guys are welcome. Both you and Herman are welcome anytime you want to come
I
on.
just want to say one more time, push them like buttons if you haven't done so already. Thank you so much.
We got an interview with the big board tonight, 8:00.
Oh, that's right. Have fun with that. Kev's
Tell Kev I said hi.
I hope he's not in a mood. You know what them Aussies are like. Crikey. Thanks for the chat.
Kev cracks me up, man. He's so Australian.
Yeah, he don't care what anybody thinks. He'll say what he's going to say no matter what.
He's like a Brit with attitude. That's what they are. Yeah,
all right. With that, I want to thank everybody. Chat, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank
it's been
you.
A great time. So I appreciate everybody jumping in. Remember, hit that like button. If you're catching this on replay, just say hi in the comments. It helps.
Replay
everything.
family. Put some little sentence. If you can't put replay family, just let the algorithm know. And you guys, hold on. Don't go disappearing straight after we go off.
All right. See you guys later. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Yeah.